Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We're here for the Super Touring Car Championship, Season 1, Round 3, and we are all the way over there in the United States of America at Willow Springs International Raceway. How lucky are we? We get to watch the torment. That is Group 3 cars versus tight, twisty track that goes wee when you go off the grass, go off the side onto the sand. So what is the Stcc? I hear you ask. The Stcc is our take on the iconic super touring era of 90s BTCC. Using selected Group 3 versions of family cars, qualifying will set the grid for both races, with the sprint being a reverse of qualifying results. They qualified for 10 minutes. They're sat on their grid positions right now. The first race is 35 miles with a standing start slowest first, and the feature race is 85 miles with the standing start fastest first. Right, is there anything more? You want to know about the table, don't you? We all want to know about the table. So there is, the only rule is they've got all the compounds available to them.
This track was made by the devil, hell on earth.
Harv's in the chat saying this track was made by the devil, hell on earth. Diablo, he is here. El Diablo in the corners. At least 2 compounds must be used at any point over the 2 races. Use of either intermediates or wets negates that 2 compound rule, but I think we can safely say it's going to be dry as a bone here. No pit stops allowed are in the sprint. I think that's everything. Right then, the table then. After 2 rounds, remember those Peugeots are strong here, so it's the battle of the Peugeots up at the front, I think. And it's Matt Psycho on 72 points. Haza is on 68 points. In third place, Sharon in the BMW on 54 points. Homesick Alien, 4th in the Hyundai on 50 points. Espresso Jerez, I think that was who I was calling Kimmy last week, is in 5th on 38 points. Ensign at 6th on 34 points. 7th is Snorlax on 33 points. Bazza is 8th on 30 points. Koikarp 9th on 29 points. Wow, it's so tight there between Ensign, Snorlax, Bazza and Koikarp. Keep an eye on that. And Madalinsky on 27 points in 10th. Pat 11th on 21 points, same as Mrs. Guesty in 12th on 21 points. Then we have Jokas in 13th on 19 points. Scary Rambo 14th on 12 points. Silverstar 15th on 9 points. And 16th is Flashman on 5 points. In the chat, Homesick Alien saying good evening. And the Bazza saying evening thingy, almost to bed, but now I'm staying up a bit. Yeah, have another extra beer. So, quick look at the grid. Remember, it is reversed. And this is how they'll be starting the sprint in the reverse order of what the feature grid is. So on pole position, we have Silverstar. He's donning the racing medium tyres today, and he is in a Subaru. Then we have Pat in second place. He is in the Mitsubishi, and he is riding a set of medium tyres. Then in third place, we have Mrs. Guesty in the other Mitsubishi, and she is donning a set of racing medium tyres. Then we have the Harvmeister, Scary Rambo, in fourth place, and he has got a set of racing softs on. Sixth place, another BMW, and that goes to Jokas. He's on the racing mediums. Then in sixth place, oh, it's a BMW Fest down here. We have Sharon, and he is on a set of racing softs for this race. Koikarp is in seventh place in the Mazda, and he is wearing a set of mediums this evening. Then in eighth place, we have the Baz. He also is in a Mazda on a set of medium tyres. Ninth place goes to Big Dan, Ensign Newitt. He also is in a Mazda, and he is on a set of racing mediums. Snorlax just behind him in the Lexus, and he is on a set of racing mediums also. Then in 11th spot, we have the Hyundai of Homesick Alien, and he'll be starting this race on a set of medium tyres. With 12th place, Matt Psycho, only just missing out on pole, and he's starting on a set of mediums with Haza pole for the feature race in 13th, and he is starting on a set of medium tyres. Let's delay not, shall we? Here we go. Watching Silverstar as the lights go out here at Big Willow, and it's a struggle of a track as they pull away, and only the brave will prosper from this race. And there we go, Pat already making a decisive move on the Scooby, and Mrs. Guesty nearly in the wrong, no, it was Harvey who was on the outside there, finding himself in the wrong place. Mrs. Guesty dropping back, and she's off the track. Oh my word. Pat leads though, and there's another off. It's Jokers. Jokers is having a detour as well as they all shuffle on through, and there's Jokers all the way out there, and Mrs. Guesty back on the track and getting back ahead of Jokers as he tries to find his way. The rear wheel drive of the BMW just not playing in the sand very nicely whatsoever. And Pat leads Shuren sneaky all the way now up and into second place. He's on the racing softs. We've got another off down there. It's white and blue. Is that Homesick Alien? No, Homesick Alien further up there. Was it Homesick? No, he's more blue. Who do we think that could have been? Was it Big Dan? It might not have been blue. It might have been white and black. Or it could have been Snorlax. Who knows? So there's going to be a lot of offs. It's Big Willow, for heaven's sake. Shuren's taken the lead from Pat, and now on them softs, can they last the 15 laps of grueling tests of El Diablo Willow? And Pat chasing him down with Silverstar holding on to that third spot, but Homesick Alien having a look up the inside, and I said fortune favours the brave here at Big Willow, and Homesick Alien a testament to that. But he gave enough room to Silverstar, but Silverstar nearly ran out of track as they duke it out, and Homesick Alien finds a nudge from behind. And now it's a traffic jam behind Silverstar and Homesick Alien. And where is Homesick? He's still in third as they squabble away for the remainders of the positions, and it's Koikarp in the Mazda in fourth, Haza up to fifth already with Matt Psycho sticking to him like glue in sixth, Silverstar slipping down into seventh with the halves, who's now racing him, and Big Dan is in for the fight as well. And just behind them we've got the Baz and Nater waiting to pick up the lost pieces that these three inevitably are going to have, as they are all very hard racers. Silverstar goes in very deep. It looks like they all have different braking places, but they all end up in the same place coming out of the corner. And Snorlax has joined that group as Shuren still leads from Pat, and Homesick Alien in third spot. And look at the crowd of cars that Snorlax is staring down the barrel of, and he tries to get up the inside of the Baz, and he does so. He's past Baz. He's just got the halves to deal with at the moment, and Snorlax having to ease out of the middle of the corner. He's being patient. More dust. Someone else just entering the track, and they're facing the wrong way. Luckily they're ghosted, and that looked like Matt Psycho. Oh my words. One of the championship leaders has dropped back. Shall we watch it? It's not fair on Matt, but I wasn't going to do any replays, but let's have a look. Where is he? He's already off. So he's just racing hard there. He's just a little wide, I think, and couldn't regain the control of the Peugeot, and could happen to anyone. So Shuren leads with Homesick Alien now in second. Pat slipped down into third place as Haza adds pressure to Pat's race, and Koikarp is ever present in amongst it. Matt Psycho saying new gear. Well, I just wondered, was all. It's not often we see that happen. And Pat doing exactly the same, but he rescued it. See, that's what you meant to do, Matt Psycho. Silverstar then in sixth with halves in seventh. Then we have Big Dan ahead of Snorlax, and the Bazza right in the sweet spot there for Snorlax. He's going for the inside. He's going for the move, and Bazza makes it pay. Bazza is the man with the moves. I got the moves like Bazza. I got the moves like Bazza. So now Bazza is hoping that, no, he's pulled out of the toe. Whoa, he's going to go for a twofer. Oh, and a little bump and grind with Big Dan. And Big Dan's all up for a bit of bump and grind. He'll have it every day of the week as they go side by side around the corner. And the Baz is on an absolute push right now. He's already got past 2. Is he going to make it 3? He's gone wide, but he's got it back on the track again. And he finds himself trying to get in there with the Big Dan. And he's pushed Big Dan wide. And Harvey was up the mid-centre of him, but Harvey's lost the back end. And Snorlax comes through. And it's all shuffle. They're doing the shuffle down there. Silver Star in 6th. Koikarp still in the thick of the action. Now he's chasing Pat. He's going to get the move done on Pat. He's looking around the outside. Pat's got a squirrel on. And yes, Koikarp makes it look very easy getting by the Mitzi that was on a wiggle at the moment. And now Haza is chasing down Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien pulled off the Mission Impossible last week and got ahead of one of the Peugeots by the end of the race. And Shiren then leads this race in the BMW. He's got a bit of space, but he's on the soft tyres and they do look like they're starting to wear thin. 15 laps they've got to do around here, and that's only 5 done, and already Shiren's struggling with grip. So Homesick Alien, this is going to be straightforward for him. All he has to do is play the waiting game, and Shiren should come back towards him, but he can't lift off for a second because there's a Peugeot right behind him adding pressure to the situation. Koikarp in 4th, being chased by Pat, and Silver Star in the Scooby in 6th place. Bazza on an absolute tear there. We've seen him overtake almost everyone. He's up into 7th, and he's got Snorlax right in his wake. And the Lexus means to do business with the Mazda. Then we've got Big Dan in 9th ahead of Mrs. Guesty. She's come through the field quite nicely, kept her nose clean. We saw she had an off in the first corner, and obviously just got her head down, cracked on, and she's picked up some lovely places from other people's demises, meaning Matt Psycho, Harvey, and Joker. Old Joker was having a nightmare at the beginning, wasn't he? So Shiren then is being caught by the Alien and Haza. The 13-3 from Homesick Alien, Haza a 12-8. He is absolutely destroying the field in that Peugeot, and Shiren is clinging on with those soft tyres. They seem like they've got a lot of juice left in them, but it does look like Haza is not quite getting onto the apexes. Homesick Alien's got his own bother though, because he's got to try and keep a Peugeot behind as he goes and attacks an ailing Shiren. And this could play into Shiren's hands, and Haza already finding a little gap to get his nose into, but it's not enough. And Homesick Alien slams that door shut on the Finnish driver. And meanwhile, Shiren's like, yes, keep it up, boys. Keep on fighting. Let me get away a little bit. We're on lap 6 of 15. It's still a lot of laps to go for Shiren to hope that this is going to be his saviour, because they're coming in hot. Shiren, you're going to have to dig deep and find a 112 somewhere, because they are on you. The BMW doesn't quite have the power down the straight. The slipstream is strong for Homesick Alien. He pulls out of the slipstream. Haza pulls into Homesick Alien slipstream. Homesick Alien around the outside to try and take the lead, but Shiren keeps it in there, and it's a drag race down to the next corner, but Homesick Alien easily gets it from having the inside line, and now it's Homesick Alien leads this race from Shiren, and Haza setting chase. Meanwhile, Koikarp all on his own with the, where's the Pat gone? Bazza's in 5th, Snorlax 6th, Big Dan in 7th, then we have Mrs. Guesty in 8th, then Matt Psycho in 9th, Silver Star a little further back from them in 10th, and there is Pat. Oh my word, it's gone absolutely totally wrong in the BWT Gulf car. It's Mitsubishi, and Pat now having to make up big ground with some old tyres. Harvey then in 12th place, and he's being caught by Jokers. Jokers finding pace near the end of the race as Homesick Alien tries to stay out of the way of the Pug and hopes Shiren puts up a bit of a battle to keep Haza a little further back. And Homesick Alien chipping away at the points. Very nice, isn't it? Getting these positions that his car shouldn't be getting, especially when you've got 2 Peugeots in the field. But at the moment, Homesick Alien leads this race, but we're only on lap 8 of 15. And there is so many laps to go, and Sharen's tyres are not getting any younger as he makes his way around. And Koikap, he's hurting his tyres as well, so he could be in trouble from the Baz, who has done a 14.0 last time around, and Koikap 14.0, so they're matching each other's pace. And Snorlax in the mix as well, but they're all hurting that front left tyre. Then we got Big Dan also hurting that front left tyre. These medium tyres are not even going to make the full race, not alone the softs. Matt Psycho's found himself past Mrs. Guesty, and now he's setting chase for Big Dan. And it's nice that he's mixing it down here with the common folk. It's nice that he's mingling with us commoners down lower in the pack. Silverstar in 10th place. And he's just ahead of Pat. Pat looking like he's having woes again. And Pat struggling to get the mid sheet under control. Now the tyres are gone. And talk about gone, Harvey's tyres has shot the bullet. And Joker's 16.3, 15.3. So Harvey doing enough to stay ahead of the BMW. Meanwhile, Homesick Aliens pulled a bigger gap out on Sharen. And where's Haza gone? Haza's dropped back a little bit as well. A 15.8 from Haza last time around. Sharen a 13.9. So Haza making a small mistake and giving Sharen a little respite. Koikap still looks pretty safe there. We had the Baz chasing him. 14.5 from Koi last time around. 14.1 from Baz. If he can keep that pace up, he's on to a fourth place. Snorlax as well, keeping it real. Matt Psycho gets the move done on an ailing Big Dan. Those tyres are done, son. And Matt Psycho comes through and up and into 7th. And it's all about damage limitation for the Psycho right now. Mrs. Guesty doing a fine job. 9th now. She keeps finding places in all the wrong places. But she's gaining ground all the way through. Matt Psycho in the chat saying he hates this track. Such a beautiful track though. That final corner is a masterpiece. So Mrs. Guesty doing a super job, but the tyres are going. The mediums really, we're going to have a lot of pit stops in the feature race, I feel. Silverstar is making his way around 10th place. Not good. It's not bad. Not good. Not bad on the points though. Ahead of Pat, Harvey and Joker's. Joker's being the big surprise. He's been scoring well. And he's not quite caught Harvey up yet. He's done a 16.0. Harvey doing a 16.3. It's going to be tight come the end of the race. Lap 10 of 15 as we catch Homesick Alien. And Haza has got past the Russian sensation now. And the Flying Finn is setting his sights to a certain Alien. And Haza barely used his tyres already at this point in the race. Sharen though staying with him with those soft tyres. Sharen doing a 14.7 last time out, and Haza managing a 12.8. Crazy lap time that Haza can get out of the Peugeot. Bazza, oh no, Koi has dropped back 2 places. Koi has dropped back 2 places, and I am assuming that has got to be from a small mistake. We saw the Bazza and Snorlax closing in. Snorlax virtually has used his tyres, and Bazza's definitely on his way with 5 laps remaining. And there is Koi, and he crosses the line at 21.6. Yeah, that somewhat leads us to believe he had some issue at that lap as his tyres are saying goodbye. And Matt Psycho sniffing out all the positions he can get. And Big Dan in 8th. Is he safe from Mrs. Guesty? Mrs. Guesty still has a fair bit of grip left on that tyre, and Big Dan's have totally shot the bullet. But he did a 15.8 last time around. If he can maintain that pace, he should be able to stay ahead of Mrs. Psycho? Mrs. Guesty. We're looking at Matt Psycho, and he is adding pressure to Koikap's woes after Koikap having a tough lap last time out. And now he's found he's got a Peugeot sitting quite comfortably up his rear derriere. Meanwhile, Snorlax chasing the Baz for 5th and 4th. And here comes the move. It's definitive. He's going for the kill in the braking zone. He slides out a little bit, but there's plenty of space there for Koikap. And Matt Psycho up to 6th. And Snorlax could be in trouble here as well. His tyres have totally shot. And he does a 16.2 last time around as Matt Psycho plows out a 14.0. Bazza 15.2, and he's trying to stay out of the trouble that's behind him. Shiren, his tyres are still in there a bit, a 15.0, doing similar times to the Baz. Oh no, Haas has taken the lead. I apologise, I have not kept a close eye on that. Oh, look, it was a while ago. Buggering heck. Oh, no. I've gone back about a lap and a half. Sorry. I got carried away. I got all happy on the go back button. I don't know how many times I clicked it. So we already know what's going to happen. I don't know how far back I've gone though. We're on lap 50. Oh, and Homesick went a little bit wide, and I think that was the beginnings of his woes, as Haza then drew very close to his rear end, and Homesick Alien then has to go into defensive mode into the corners, and really against the Peugeot it's like chasing chickens. It's pointless. It's not going to happen. And now the Peugeot looming large, looking up the inside. It's got plenty more grip. Remember, Haas has got more tyre than Homesick Alien has at this point, and down onto the straight, and then we just need a little toe from the Hyundai, and Haza should find an easy way up the inside of Homesick, and I imagine Homesick survives the corner. Homesick, his tyre is very depleted, so Homesick Alien really did put a fight up. It wasn't the beginning of his disasters, his small off. That just helped the Peugeot rock up to his rear back end, and the grip sliding the Hyundai out, and the Peugeot plenty of grip on the inside there, and just sneaks one up the inside, and that keeps us up to date with Haza now in the lead from Homesick Alien. And there's blue flags out for one of the, it'll be Jokers, I guess. No, it's the halves. So Jokers has managed to get past Harvey. That is a shame. Oh, Harvey had a rough lap 9 and not much better lap 10. So Jokers then now zeroing in on Pat, who's been having a tough time since his tyres died. And Jokers still got a bit of life, and finds another position in this race, and it's not bad for Jokers. What a torrid start it was. Just imagine if he didn't have the off and get stuck in the sand, he would have been very strong come the end of this race, as he is. But Jokers now up and into 11th place. How far Silverstar? Silverstar is some way off, and Silverstar still with plenty of grip on his tyres. Mrs. Guesty is keeping it clean, keeping it tidy, keeping it consistent. Big Snorlax has had a big off. There was a movement there, and his Snorlax has had a huge off. I don't know why. It's just, he's just lost grip, did he? He's got Matt Psycho right behind him. Matt Psycho having a look one way or another, and I think Snorlax just took the brakes a little too late into the corner and ran out of track, and that Snorlax then down behind a few of them. There goes Big Dan getting by. Oh, Snorlax goes across the track trying to get on. This is the problem with Big Willow, and that's Mrs. Guesty up and into 8th. Snorlax's tyres are pretty short. Silverstar too far away to get anything out of this, and we're only on lap 12 of 15. There's still a long way to go, and I feel there's a lot more changes to come in this race. Haza trying to run and hide from the Alien as they both put a lap on halves, and Shiren is the next man to find Harvey in the BMW. The soft tyres lasted a lot longer than I thought. They beat some of these mediums out. Bazza at the moment is limping to the flag of 15.3, if you want to call that limping. That's pretty fast. And Matt Psycho a 15.4 last time out, but we know he can go faster. He's still got a little white on his medium tyres, and I don't know if Bazza can survive the final 2 laps left, not including this one. But Matt Psycho sets chase, and it's not going to be that bad of a race for Matt Psycho at this rate. Koi Carp up into 6th, back ahead of Big Dan. Mrs. Guesty in 8th, doing a fine job. Lost a bit of time that last lap, but she's got Snorlax behind, who's got no tyres left, and Silverstar is chasing down the Snorlax, but Snorlax still not being able to kill the speed on the Lexus, finding himself going around the ring of death near the outside. So Silver Star in 10th. We've got Jokus in 11th. Jokus very fast at the end of this race. 16.2 from him last time around. Silver Star 28.7. He's going to have to be careful. Harvey has been caught by Pat, has he? Well, Harvey's got past Pat, so Pat's had even more of a drop. And since his tyres have gone, he cannot get on top of the Mitzi as someone comes through to put a lap on him. It's Shiren has caught him up, but Shiren has to be quite ginger with this one. He hasn't got a lot of grip himself. Harvey moving up a position then, I think, ahead of the Pat. And Haza then more distance between himself and the Alien. His tyres have totally gone. We're on to the final lap here with the leaders. And then we have Shiren crossing the line to start his final lap. The Baz is still ahead of Matt Psycho. The Baz doing a 15.4 last time out. Matt Psycho a 14.3. Oh, Baz, can he keep hold of it this final lap? This is tense stuff as Matt Psycho pushes on to try and grab that 4th place. Then we have Koikap, good point scorers for place for the Mazda, and Big Dan in 7th, Mrs. Guesty in 8th. And she starts her final lap. Snorlax just doesn't have the tyres to fight back at the Mitsubishi. Silver Star in 10th, chasing them down with Jokus in 11th, Harvey in 12th, Pat in 13th. But where was the fight? I was saying it's the Baz and Matt Psycho show right now on the final lap. And Bazza looks like he's doing just enough. These are former teammates from the GTMC, both champions from that series. And now it's a showdown between teammates again. And Haza takes the win. Haza super stuff. Homesick Alien gets 2nd place. Shiren brings it home to 3rd as the Halves and Pat finish a lap down. And that's Shiren through. Bazza then, is it his? He's got it. Bazza's got it. Where is the pug? It's not that far behind, but he just couldn't quite keep it with the Baz. 6th place goes to a Koikap. 7th place goes to a bigger Daneth with a great drive in the Mazda. No tyres whatsoever. Mrs. Guesty, you superstar. Look at it. 8th place for Mrs. Guesty. And just kept her head down and kept her nose clean and got some great positions. Snorlax comes home in 9th in the Lexus. Silver Star bringing it on home on the final lap, staying ahead of the leaders and gets himself a fine 10th place. And Jokus, from a torrid start, gains 2 positions, which I imagine whilst he was doing donuts in the sand he would have taken. And Jokus, that is him in 11th place. The Halves finished in 12th and Pat finished in 13th. So on to the feature race. In a second when I get there. Gosh. And we've seen the grid for this. It's the reverse of the grid from the sprint race. Sorry, I'm here still. Was it really 100% though when it first got there? Because it seemed to take ages after it hit 100%. Right, 1 second, because we've got to do a mini grid walk, not a major one, just to see what tyres people have decided to start on. So they've got to use 2 compounds. Most of them have used the mediums already. So Haza starts on pole, and he is starting on the racing medium tyres. I believe that's what he used in the sprint. Matt Psycho also opting for a medium set of tyres. Homesick Alien starting on the softs, with Snorlax also starting on the softs in 4th. Big Dan starting in 5th on the racing mediums, with the Baz starting on the mediums also. Koikap 7th on the softs, with Shiren in 8th on the mediums. Joker starting on the hards in 9th. Harvey starting on the mediums in 10th. Guesty, Mrs. Guesty starting on the mediums in 11th. Pat starting on the mediums in 12th. And Silver Star, the mediums in 13th. And oof. I tell you. Who's it going for the hearts? Jokers. That's going to be a tough one for the Jokers. We'll have to wait and see. Let's get back up at the front of the Battle of the Peugeots. As the lights are on, we're ready to race. Let's do it. So Haza, a good start there from Matt Psycho. Homesick Alien on those soft tyres, but we've seen in the past the soft tyres seem to take a bit longer than the mediums. And Snorlax already sneaking one up in the inside of the Alien, and it's Snorlax up and into third, with the Hyundai sitting just behind, both of them on soft tyres. Bazza up to fifth. He jumps someone on Big Dan, I think, who slipped back a couple of places. Shiren in sixth with Koikarp in seventh. They're battling it out side by side, and it's Shiren that comes fourth and gets that sixth place with Koi in seventh, Big Dan in eighth, Harvey in ninth, Joker's in 10th on those hard tyres, remember. He may be a bit of a sitting duck, and Silverstar's made contact with Joker's trying to save the BMW, and he's going slow. He's learnt from his first sprint race not to floor it in the dust. Haza then is leading from Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho under pressure from the soft donned Lexus, with Homesick Alien just behind in the Hyundai, also on soft tyres. Can they put a fight up to the Peugeots? We've got 35 laps around Big Willow, and we are going to see a lot of trips to the Shadow Realm, I am sure. And Snorlax then trying to get the move done on Matt Psycho, but he's around the outside. It's a tough one to pull that one off, and Matt Psycho remains in second place with Snorlax and Homesick Alien all very close up his rear derriere. Then we've got Bazzer in fifth, Koikarp in sixth, Shiren in seventh, Big Dan in eighth. Sat on board with the Alien. We're in fourth place on lap 2 at Big Willow for round 3 of the first season of the Super Touring Cars Championship. And we can see Haza just getting away in the distance in the Peugeot, and Matt struggling to get away from the Snorlax. He's probably wanting to look after his tyres. He's probably happy to sit behind them for a little bit, just a bit of distance, not to overheat his tyres. Oh, closes in a lot there, doesn't he, the Homesick Alien? Now he's right in the sweet spot for a slipstream up this long straight, and Matt could be a sitting duck right here, as Snorlax having another look around the outside and still can't get that move to pay. And Matt Psycho driving quite defensive, costing himself time from Haza, who's nicely pulling away and into the lead of this. And now Homesick having a nibble at Snorlax there on the inside, and he's like saying, if you're not going to get the move done on Matt Psycho, allow me to get by and get the move done. But Snorlax says, no, I'm not done with him yet. Give me another chance. He's going for another move. He's going to get desperate in a minute, and that's when bad things happen. But Matt Psycho, at the moment, still the thorn in the side of the two soft runners, who aren't getting away from the medium guys. Bazza and Koikarp still staying in close quarter, although Koikarp's on the soft tyre as well. Shiren's on the mediums, and that's him using 2 compounds, because he used the softs in the first round sprint, the first race. Big Dan in 8th on the medium tyres, ahead of the Mitzi of Pat. And then we have Harvey in 10th in the BMW, and Mrs. Guesty in the Mitzi. So Harvey in a lovely Mitsubishi sandwich right now. No better place to be. Then we have Jokers on those hard tyres. See how he fares. His race will come to him later. And Silverstar on those mediums a little further back. I'm going to take a jump off, but 1 second. There you go, striptease in the middle of the stream. Get you all hot and bothered. The hot brew is gone. I don't know why we're watching Haza when there's battling behind between Matt Psycho, Snorlax and Homesick Alien. It's like I thought I was covering an F1 race. So Bazza under pressure now from Koikarp. His soft tyres are in the sweet spot. And it's Mazda on Mazda action here for 6th and 5th place. And they'll be getting caught by Shiren on the mediums if they're not careful. Oof, Bazza kicking up a bit of dust there. And that is just an open invitation to Koikap to come by, I'm sure. Again, the three up front are battling like anything. Koi didn't pull that move off there. Snorlax has pulled the move off, though. He looks like he's found a way past the Peugeot, and he's up and into 2nd place, and he wants to get away from the Peugeot as quickly as possible before his tyres die a almost certain death in the next lap or two. Homesick Alien as well, trying to wiggle his way by the Peugeot, but can't quite find that sweet spot that Snorlax took 5 laps to find. Snorlax, meanwhile, 2nd place, but he's not running and hiding. The Peugeot staying with the Hyundai and the Lexus with medium tyres on against their soft tyres. So Homesick Alien going for the long way round the outside. It's not quite there, and he's found himself in an awkward position there on the wrong side of Matt, but he's rearranged himself, and now he's back on it, and he's got the Baz and Koi Carp for company soon. They're not far behind the Baz and the Koi, and Shiren closing in on them as well in the BMW, with Big Dan not far behind the Shiren. Oh, dust. Oh, we think it might be okay. Nothing has changed here. It's just someone kicked up a little bit of dust. So Harvey in 9th on the attack to Pat. One's attacking one anyway. And Harvey has been doing some exceptional fast lap times the last couple of laps around. But Pat really is giving him something to think about. And it's side-on-side action here with the Mitzi. Oh yeah, Halves was behind Pat. So Halves has gained on the Pat, and now he's got himself past. And Pat is not happy with that, and he's trying to attack the BMW. But Harvey making that Beamer as wide as he possibly can and keeping the Mitsubishi at bay. And if they battle it up a little bit too much, Mrs. Guesty will be able to rock up to the back of them two and show them both up. But at the moment, the Halves in 9th place and pulling away from Pat. 11th for Mrs. Guesty, with Jokus in 12th, going for that long run with those hard tyres. And Silverstar looks like he's catching up with Jokus. 16-1 last time for Silverstar, 16-3 for Jokus, slowly but surely. And we're starting to get pit stops here. Koi Carp's gone into the pits. Oh no, he hasn't. Yes, he has. He's in and out. He was in and out. Did he? He changed his tyres. Now he's found himself behind Pat, ahead of Mrs. Guesty. Did anyone else pit? Thought I saw 2. Home 6 tyres still in there though. Snorlax in 2nd. His tyres are starting to go. And oh yeah, there's someone else in this race called Haza. He's right there out at the front. Untouchable. Unbelievable. Snorlax. His tyres are starting to go. Matt Psycho's mediums only just begun, with Homesick Aliens tyres at the later end of their life. The expiry date is fastly approaching. Baz has done a fantastic job keeping pace with those alien type drivers ahead of him, and Snorlax has gone in to fix that soft tyre issue that he's having, and Shiren continues on with his medium tyres. Big Dan, his mediums are getting old, but he's carried on as well. He's ahead of Snorlax and the Halves. Koi Carp, who did make a pit stop, you would hope Snorlax is out ahead of him. So Snorlax has put the medium tyres, and no, the undercut is strong here because Koi Carp has got the jump. And he was some 3 or 4 cars behind Snorlax. Snorlax has topped up with fuel though, where I don't think Koi Carp did. So Koi Carp then, and this is terrible for Snorlax, he would have liked a bit of an empty road ahead of him, but he's got a BMW on old set of medium tyres. He's got a Koi Carp on a new set of medium tyres, all up and in his way, and this is him trying to get an undercut. He should be out there putting some smashing lap times in. Meanwhile, his foes Matt Psycho and Homesick Alien are frolicking in 2nd and 3rd, and not much is holding them up except for gravity. And Homesick Alien, he's come in. Homesick Alien's come in. Bazza stays out with his medium tyres, and why wouldn't he? He's on a roll. And Shiren also on those medium tyres, expected to stay out. Big Dan's also in. His tyres are looking worse for wear as Koikarp, Harvey and Snorlax. So Koikarp has got past Harvey, who's on the older set of tyres, but he continues on. He has a plan, and he's, by Jove, sticking to it. And Snorlax losing, well, I say losing time, yeah, because Homesick has got out ahead of him. And also Shiren didn't pit. So Homesick's pitted, and he's got back out ahead of Koikarp, and more importantly, Snorlax. That whole pit stop has not gone well for Snorlax. But again, Homesick Alien put no fuel in. So Snorlax, he's got fuel in the bank. It's like money in the bank he hasn't spent yet. So Snorlax, it's not all terrible for him. No one, the others just put tyres on, and I don't think they topped up much, where Snorlax filled up with fuel, put the mediums on. He's going for a long middle section. So far, Haza barely used his tyres. He's got 3/4 of a tank of fuel. He's smashing out the lap times like he just don't care, and he's miles ahead of the other Peugeot, of Matt Psycho, whom hasn't pitted yet. He's halfway through his medium tyres, and he's not got that much of a distance to the Baz in the Mazda, but Baz's tyres are a lot worse for wear than Matt Psycho's at this point in the race, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Baz into the pits in the next lap or two. Shiren also not pitting, but his tyres staying in there in the BMW a lot better. But Homesick Alien is catching. And Shiren then, will he stick to his plan, or will he try and race the Alien? His race isn't really with the Alien at this point in the race, at least, anyway. So I imagine Shiren probably won't put up too much of a fight. He'd like to, I suppose, get in the Alien's way a little bit, slow him down a little bit, to give himself a chance later in the race. But at the moment, Shiren just sticking to the business of getting on with it. And he's doing it very well. Homesick Alien out there with a can-do attitude. And he is chasing down the Peugeot of Matt Psycho. That's where his race in his mind is. And this is not bad for him. He's getting good lap times in, and he's got no one impeding him, and he might be getting a slight toe off the BMW, who knows. Then we have Koikarp, who jumped Snorlax in that last round of pit stops, but Snorlax did put more fuel in than Homesick and Koi. Halves yet to pit, and he may have missed his window, because that front racing medium is looking pretty haggard. Mrs. Guesty, tyres looking clean, and she might pick up on Harvey. Where's the Pat gone? Pat must have pitted. I think we saw him pit. Big Dan's been in. He's put some hard tyres on. Joker's still out there on his hard tyres, up to 11th now, with Pat pitting and putting hard tyres on. And Silver Star sticking with his original tyres. And why wouldn't he? There's still loads of life left in them. So the hard tyre runners, what sort of lap times are they going to do? Jokers has been doing 16s on the hards. So they've only been doing like 15 and a halves on the mediums. So not terrible, the hard tyre pace, it would seem. And we'll find out with Big Dan on a set as well. Mrs. Guesty, she looks after a set of mediums all right. Don't think she'll need the hard tyres, but we'll see. And Mrs. Guesty then chasing down the halves, whose tyres are dismal. He's got to come in now. He's gone for an early pit entry there. He's gone the Dukes of Hazzard way, as Harvey comes in for the pits. And Mrs. Guesty moves up another spot. What's happening up at the front, I hear you ask? Let's have a look. Haza is still owning it. And he is definitely smashing this one out of the park. Matt Psycho trying to put a fight on, but I think he's already beat there on pace alone by Haza. He's phenomenal today. But Matt Psycho in second place, just trying to get as many points as he possibly can. He's been in the chat and said it's not his favourite track. So He's there just trying to keep it together. We're on lap 12 of 35. The leaders have yet to pit, nor has the Baz, but he should do because his tyres are shot. And he's got the Alien coming in hot. And Shiren yet to pit as well. I didn't see if it looks like Shiren didn't make it difficult for the Alien. The Alien's lap time's pretty good. So Shiren possibly being sensible out there. Koikarp, his race is with Shiren. So the longer Shiren goes on these tyres, the better for him, really. Snorlax, he pitted and put more fuel in, which the other guys seem to didn't. They just changed their tyres. But Snorlax opted to put some fuel in and lost position to Homesick Alien and Koikarp. He can still see Koikarp. His race is still there with him. But Homesick Alien, he may have disappeared now. As he gets past the Baz and Baz Alien with that tyre. His lap times aren't showing it though, 15.7, but all the others have been in the 14s. But Shiren is now coming. Shiren is strong on the BMW. His tyres still together as the Mazdas has destroyed the front left, and it's this corner there which I suspect is killing him. Matt Psycho's in. Matt Psycho is in. Homesick Alien will move up another position. The Baz comes in as well. Shiren stays. No, Shiren's coming as well. So Koikarp's going to make a huge leap here up to about 4th place. No, someone's out. Matt Psycho is back out of the pits. So he's only lost the position to Homesick Alien. And Matt Psycho gone to a set of softs now. And he is absolutely going to tear one right up. And Koikarp then up and into 4th ahead of the Baz. He's jumped the Baz, but the Baz is on soft tyres. And Koikarp on an old set of medium tyres. This is going to get fruity. Snorlax nearly caught out the Baz. Oh, loads of tyre smoke from Snorlax there as he really battles on. And Shiren, where was he? Was he in ahead or behind? He must have been ahead. Oh, Snorlax has come out. Shiren's come out of the pits just on Snorlax with a set of racing softs. Interesting stuff. Snorlax right in that one. Big Dan on his racing hards. We saw Mrs. Guesty pitting, and she's only lost that one spot to Big Dan. Cracking stuff. The leader is in Haza, and Homesick on a totally different strategy to the two Peugeots. Looks like he's going to take the lead of this race. No, Haza's on the move. He's put a set of softs on, no fuel, and he's out easily ahead of Homesick Alien, who's well on his way through his set of soft tyres there. And Matt Psycho not far behind on a fresh set of softs. So Homesick Alien may have to make another pit stop pretty soon. And Koikarp also destroying a set of medium tyres. And I said there's going to be a lot of pit stops because there's a lot of them out there killing their tyres quite rapidly. So Shiren then in 6th place, and he's got Snorlax. We've got a fruity little battle here with Snorlax, Shiren and the Baz. They're all on the soft tyres. Koikarp just ahead of him, and he's going to be dripping speed out the sides of his car and giving away a lot of time to the Baz, Shiren, Snorlax. Big Dan possibly not. He's on the hard tyres. He's on a totally different strategy. He's going for a very, very long run in this race. He's got good pace on those hard tyres. Mrs. Guesty on a set of mediums. She'll be hoping to catch up Big Dan pretty soon. Pat's not that far behind her on a set of hard tyres. And what can Pat do? He's lifted his pace up. Now he's seen the sister Mitsubishi ahead of him. Joker's on those hard tyres. Doesn't look like it's paid off for him. He hasn't really gained going so long into the race. With Harvey on a set of medium tyres, and Silverstar has gone to a set of hards recently. Is he going to try and run to the end on that? Possibly. Lap 15 of 35. Haza leads from Homesick Alien, but Homesick Alien's tyres are going to become an issue pretty quick. Matt Psycho doing a 12.5.84, which is very close to Haza's fastest lap of a 1:12.535. Unbelievable stuff from the Peugeot drivers. Homesick Alien a 12.8 last time around though, so not that much slower than Matt Psycho. Koikarp meanwhile has been caught by the Baz. The Baz on those soft tyres. easily should get by. And really quick up. It's no contest, no race for him. He just slowed himself down, trying to get in the Baz's way. And he concedes the position. And he's got to be nervous about the cars behind him, although Shiren has got quite a bit of a gap. And Snorlax, he made another pit, didn't he? He's quite a gap behind. Oh, is he gone in again? Not sure what's going on there. Koi is in though. Koi Carp is in. With Shiren now moving up into 5th. Trying to chase the Baz down, but the Baz has got a lovely bit of distance as he puts a lap on the Scooby. And Snorlax any closer? Oh, Snorlax just pips Koi Carp there coming out of the pits. Koi's gone to a set of hard tyres with Snorlax on the softs. Shiren's on the softs. Baz is on the softs. This is, everyone's gone very varied with their pit strategies. Homesick Alien has now shot his tyres and there's a lot of lapped cars ahead of him. I can see Jokus being the next guy. Who are they all racing? Jokus, Halves, Pat. No, Pat's not so much closer. So yeah, Homesick Alien has got to get himself by these two guys. No, he goes in. He goes in, probably for the best. So the Baz will move up ahead of the Alien into a podium position. Can he maintain that until the end of the race? We're on lap 17 of 35. No, Homesick Alien on his way out of the pits, just ahead of Baz. So Baz didn't quite get that podium, but he's got momentum. And Homesick Alien's on a cold set of tyres, trying to get them up to racing temperature, as Baz's are right in the sweet spot. So it's Mazda versus Hyundai out there. Which one will come out on top? And the Baz means business. Homesick Alien loses it on the colder tyres. Oh my word. Baz are up into 3rd. Homesick Alien scampering to get back on track. Shiren's caught him up. And Silverstar gets way out of the way. Doesn't want any of that beef. As Homesick Alien tries and tries to get the Hyundai back up into pace, but he's got dirty tyres, and Shiren finds his way around easily around the outside, and Homesick Alien has just got to reset, recoup, and try and get back on with it, as he loses a couple of positions there to the Baz and Shiren. And you see, only Haza now is the only one I don't think has made a mistake. 11-7. That has got to have taken the wind out of Matt Psycho's sails. I imagine he saw that 11-7 and just thought, you are joking. Unbelievable pace there from the Flying Finn here at the Big Willow. And he is unstoppable this evening. 19 laps of 35 done. And this race has been thrilling from beginning to end. And the Baz gets a lap done on the Scooby. And where's his mate Shiren? Shiren is back with Homesick Alien. Oh, it looks like Shiren made a mistake there. Baz will be so pleased about that. And so the Baz can just continue on with business. And does this mean there could be a podium in Baz's future? Shiren doing all he can to keep the Alien behind, but the Alien now, he's surely scuppered those tyres up, cleaned them up, and got them up to racing temperature, and he'll be going for it soon. Snorlax in 6th, Koi Carp 7th, Big Dan in 8th on the hard tyres, and Homesick Alien having a small think about going up the inside of the Beamer, but thought better of it. Thought I can get this moved on later in the race, as they click over to lap 20, and there's 15 laps left of this race, and anything can happen. Homesick around the outside. Sorry, I wasn't quick enough to get out of the car. It's not quite complete though. Shiren coming back in the second part of the corner. A beautiful shot there as they come over the hill. And now Homesick has the inside line and has the position. But Shiren is not going to give that up that easily. Their tyres are still quite fresh. Homesick's a little fresher than Shiren's, but Shiren has got definitely enough meat on there to put a fight up for this one. Homesick just wanting to get on business and stop the Belgian Bullet from taking his podium away. Where is Bazza? All the way around there, miles away. So the Baz, he's just got to keep his head down, but those soft tyres must be giving him a cold sweat because they're dying pretty quickly. Matt Psycho also chewing up his racing softs as Haase is so delicate to his tyres. He is the tyre whisperer. So Matt, wondering, where is Haase? Haase's not that far ahead as well. Haase's been doing some, say he did an 11.7, then he did a 16.1 and a 14.8. With Matt Psycho smashing the 12s and the 13s out. Matt Psycho starting to bring Haase back into the fold. And will Haase be nervous of this? Probably not. Bazza, meanwhile, third place. Homesick Alien in fourth. We saw him fighting with Shiren. And there's a blue car up ahead having a dilemma and a lap put on it. Oh, it's Haase, I think, is it? Haase, no. Harvey. Sorry. I think it's Harvey. So, Shiren, he's ahead of the Alien again, is he not? Or was he already ahead of the Alien? No, I think they've swapped positions somewhere along the way. But Homesick Alien coming back at Shiren, no, doesn't quite manage it. I can't remember. I'm having a total blank if Homesick was already ahead of Shiren or not. I thought he was. He was. So Shiren snuck one back against the Alien. And the Alien trying as best he can. Oh, and Shiren's gone out wide there. And that definitely puts Homesick Alien, that puts the doubt all out of our minds that Homesick Alien is in fourth place ahead of Shiren. But Shiren, very racy today. Big Dan's in the pits to get rid of those hard tyres, nasty things. Although he wore them up. And Snorlax is chasing down a hard-tyred Koi Carp. But Snorlax's soft tyres are pretty much shot to pieces now. Big Dan's back out of the pits. I don't think he lost any positions, but Mrs. Guesty and Jokus, oh no, Mrs. Guesty, is closer to him as Haase comes around to lap 9th place. Is he going to go for the whole field? No, surely not. So let's find Haase. He's on lap 23 of 35 as he gets by Mrs. Guesty. And he's heading towards Big Dan, I believe. 8th place next. With the blue flags out. Big Dan will be wanting to time this nicely as he won't be wanting to give any space up for Mrs. Guesty. He nearly loses the car around the corner. Haase here, there and everywhere. He's trying to get by. And a little lift there from Big Dan lets Haase go through. Big Dan slips back into the slipstream to try and get any advantage on the Mitsubishi behind him. Matt Psycho, we saw he closed right up to Haase, but his tyres have gone. And I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, he's wiggling in that final corner. He's got to make a pit stop, surely. He can't take those tyres around. Another go. He was struggling in that final corner. So that's the Peugeot into the pits. Bazza as well. His tyres are shot. I'm sure we'll see him come in if he can get around this final corner. He's done a great job, though. Would he be tempted to take it for another one? He was squealing. No, he's in. Homesick Alien still got some meat on his tyres. Can he beat the Master? Matt Psycho has been released. He's already back on the track, and Homesick Alien nowhere near. Unbelievable stuff. Matt Psycho's gone for a set of racing softs. Will that see him to the end? Possibly 9 laps. With the Homesick Alien, suspected he might have to get another set of tyres before the end of the race. Shiren definitely will need another set of tyres before the end of the race. The Baz has just got a fresh set on. He's not that far behind Homesick Alien and Shiren. If they both do have to make a pit stop, then Bazza is definitely in a good spot for third. Oh, not when he's off the road though. Come on, Baz. Keep it together, my friend. And that's Bazza just pulling it together. No, Baz, what are you doing? Baz, you're throwing it all away, my friend. Look, here comes Koi Carp. And Koi comes around the outside to grab that position from the Baz. Koi might be running all the way till the end here, and the Baz has got to get it together because he's losing time on this lap. Snorlax as well in this race. He's gone for the hard tyre. There's a lot of them just given up on the mediums and the softs because they don't last too long, and have gone for the hard tyre just to get to the end. Mrs. Guesty there, 17 ones. She might not need another tyre before the end of this race. We'll not know. Jokus has got rid of the hards. He's put some softs on. Looks like he's had his fun, but that's it now. The fun is over because the grip has gone. So Jokus having to make a big decision. The Harv is probably about a pit stop away. Harv's also getting to the end of his tyre life in 11th. He's ahead of Silverstar, who's on a set of hard tyres. 16 fours against Harv's 17 fours. Second faster. Maybe time in this race for Silverstar to catch up and grab that 11th spot. And Pat in 13th. Harz's back into the pits for a quick tyre change. This surely is going to see him to the end. Whereabouts is Matt? I've never struggled with Matt and Pat before, but for some reason I'm suddenly having a real struggle with Matt and Pat. So Matt Psycho then, he's chasing down the Haas, but Haas has got out of the pits well within enough time to keep Matt Psycho at bay. Homesick Alien, when's he going to pit? Shiren has pitted and got out ahead of the Baz. That is crushing for the Baz. Someone's off the road. Who is it? Them. Oh, Silverstar, and he was catching up the halves, we thought. So Haza leads. He's just made a pit stop, and Mrs. Guesty's up to 8th place with all the shenanigans that's going on. Although Jokus, yeah, he's going to have to pit. Halves is going to have to pit. Pat might be a threat. And Silverstar just losing out with those hard tyres. So Haza coming to put a lap on Mrs. Guesty. He's on lap 26 of 35. Matt Psycho trying to push on and give a fight to Haza, but I think Haza won this round when he logged into the lobby. Homesick Alien goes into the pits. Shiren might have a chance. Oh, I don't think he has, though. He's miles behind, and so is the Baz. So I think Homesick Alien's going to be pretty safe here, just going in, getting some softs, coming back out just to drive to the end of the race. And no one near him. Unbelievable stuff from Homesick Alien. Shiren then in 4th place with the Baz. In 5th, Halves peels off and into the pit lane behind us. Oh, and so does Koi Carp. Koi's had enough. He's got fuel. He just obviously doesn't like the tyre and comes in. Big Dan, meanwhile, he's on the hard tyre. He's sticking with it. And Mrs. Guesty on the mediums being, no, not caught by Jokers. So everything's gravy for Mrs. Guesty at the moment. She's being caught by Matt Psycho, but she can't concern herself with that. Jokus in 9th place. Ooh, he's got a bit of damage around the back end there. And he's off the road. And the cold tyres catching him out with Harvey. Isn't that far behind. If Jokus doesn't get moving pretty soon, Halves is going to find that position up for grabs. He's got Pat very close behind him as well. Interesting stuff. The Halves and the Pat duking it out, and Silverstar not that far behind. Where's Jokus? Jokus has got going now. And, Harvey just ahead of Pat. Let's get on board with the Pat as he fights it out with Harvey Warbanger. And let's see how this one turns out. Pat's on the hard tyres. I'm not sure what Halves is on. Halves is on the medium tyres, so Harvey might have got past Pat, actually. No, he's on an out lap. Might have just come out of the pits somewhere around Pat. Jokus, though, meanwhile, warming his tyres up, getting into the swing as Mrs. Guesty, oh, has pitted as well. Let's put some softs and missed a load of pit stops here. Big Dan then has moved ahead of him and onto the hard tyre. With Koi Kart we saw popping into the pits. He's put the mediums on. hoping that the Baza and Shiren softs die before the end of the race. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, someone at the top of the hill. It's not one of the leaders. That's the one. Oh, it was Mrs. Guesty, unfortunately. Mrs. Guesty giving away a bit of time, but she's okay. There's no jokers behind her just yet, as Shiren puts a lap on her. Oof, very close. And he's being chased by the Baz. Remember that close battle between Shiren and the Baz, duking it out. And the Mitsubishi's just totally disappeared. Where has it gone? There she is. Oh yeah, no, Baz hasn't got past her yet. I think Mrs. Guesty could be okay. Jokus is on the soft tyre, but so is Mrs. Guesty. And it's a struggle. It's a struggle to string a good lap together when you've got lap cars coming around you. You have to keep lifting. So Jokus might be in with a chance of closing that gap up. Although I think that's it for the lap cars for a little while now. And the Baz then chasing down Shiren. Homesick Alien a mile off the Peugeot boys. And there's a Matt Psycho going faster than he's gone before. But an 11.6 there for Haza. He is absolutely throwing it out the park. But once more spin, once more mistake, and it can all change to Matt Psycho's favour. So Homesick Alien looks safe from Shiren. Oh, Shiren having a big off there, giving Baz half an opportunity to draw up close to him, but the Baz is using his tyres quite nicely. 5 laps remain for these guys. Koikap on the medium tyres, a little further back from them, but if their tyres die, Koikap is going to be there. And Big Dan on the other side of the track getting lapped by the Peugeot. Big Dan on those hard tyres. Nowhere near Koikap really. Huge gap. Mrs. Guesty on the soft tyres, being very wary of Jokus, who is trying to claw his way in. 14.0 from Jokus last time around. 17.3 from Mrs. Guesty, but she's had to do some lifting to let the leaders through. Pat and Harvey are absolutely tearing strips out of each other. Pat on the hard tyres. Oh, Pat's gone a bit wide. And Harvey up and into 10th, and Pat keeps the line straight and makes his way back to the grey stuff as Haza comes to put a lap on him. And Harvey now ahead of Pat. Cracking battling from them. Silverstar, he's not that far behind. There's still a good 5 laps to go in this race. And Haza then makes his way past the back markers. Will that help Matt Psycho out? He's got a bit of clear track ahead of him, as Haza has to get himself around at least 2 back markers at the moment. They're not even back markers, it's just these people at the front are just ridiculously fast. So Homesick Alien has got no concerns around him. No one's challenging him. Shiren is more worried about the Baz. The Baz is hungry. The Baz has gone up a level, and he's leveled up in his Gran Turismo game. He most certainly has. He's knocking on the podiums on a regular basis now, and all make way and hail the Baz. He has arrived. I'm just having a stretch. God, you know what? I thought this was going to take like an hour. I thought I'd be done by 10:30. Not moaning. I'm just it's longer than I thought it was going to be. So Haza leads this race from Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho is still in the ballpark. If Haza makes too much of a mistake, I think he's trying to get by Harvey at the moment. Harvey and Haza on the track together. Haza just being patient, waiting for his moment. Harvey on a fresher set of tyres, I think, so he's got to be careful of the blue flags though. And he has to yield at some point. Haza grabs a toe. as he makes his way past the BMW around the outside, and there Harvey does yield. Matt Psycho pretty much a clear track ahead of him. I say a clear track, I think it's Pat, you can see. So Matt Psycho, but his tyres are starting to dim down a bit. Homesick Alien's got a bit more tyre, but too much distance to make, and that equation just does not add up. As Shiren was having trouble from Bazza, but Bazza seems to have backed out of it a little bit. Bazza's tyres pretty much short, as Shiren's tyres are still tidy. So Koikap still could be a factor in this race, although he is running out of laps to get it done. As he crosses the line, he's doing regular 13s at the moment on those medium tyres. That was a 14.1, as Bazza doing a 14.2 on a dead set of softs, and Shiren doing a 13.3. But Shiren's fuel's flashing. Is that enough fuel to get to the end? Will that be? Are they all flashing? Nah, that's all right. Everyone's fuel's flashing. Phew. I got nervous. So Haza on his penultimate lap at the moment, way ahead of Matt Psycho. Then we have Homesick Alien in third, Shiren in fourth. Is he catching the Alien? He's not that far behind the Alien, you know. What's Homesick Alien done? Ooh, Homesick Alien's had a mistake. He's had an off, obviously. A 26.4 last time out for the Alien. And Shiren, that is like showing a red rag to a bull, because now Shiren is sniffing out a podium with, 2 laps to go for these guys. I think Haas might be on his final lap. Not yet. But he's way on his way. He's lapped Mrs. Guesty, I think. So Haza then, no, he's still on his penultimate lap. I'm not sure where he's lapped up to. Oh, we've got someone facing the wrong way in the final corner. And it's Jokus, who was chasing down Mrs. Guesty. And how far behind is Harvey? Pat's not that far behind as well, so Jokus has to beware. They're all on their final lap now, because Haas is on their final lap. How's Homesick getting on with Shiren? Shiren not able to just close in on the Alien just quite yet. Haas is earlier into his lap. The Baz still on the lead lap as well. His tyres are short. And I do think that Koikap he's faster, but he's not fast enough to catch him in these final laps. Big Dan must have been lapped. He's on his final lap now. This is Guesty. And Jokus we saw making a mistake, giving Harvey half a chance. He's not that far behind, but this is the final lap for these guys. Where's Haza? Sorry. I missed him going across the line last time, so we'll stick with Haza as he comes up to the line to take a fabulous win. A pair of wins, wasn't it? So a beautiful pair of wins there for Haza in the Peugeot. And Jokus just behind to cross the line in 9th. Then we have Harvey in 10th. Not that far behind Jokus, was he? Pass off the track. Matt Psycho finishes in 2nd. Homesick Alien still some way off. Oh, God, I hate it when they do this to me. Pat will be the next to cross the line in 11th. And Big Dan, way off the road there. He's crossing the line, Big Dan. In 7th as Silver Star crosses the line. Mrs. Guesty some way off, so it's got to be Homesick next. Here he is, Homesick Alien takes a podium. Take a boo, my son. Shiren gets best of the rest with 4th place. Bazza does a mighty fine job in a field full of strong contenders for 5th place. Koikap brings it home in 6th. Good points for the Mazda drivers. Big Dan's already crossed the line. Oh, Mrs. Guesty in 8th and Koikap in 6th. Hang on. Is that the field? So Haza then takes the win from Matt Psycho, who gets 2nd, and Homesick Alien on the podium in 3rd. There you go. That's a lot better of a shot. Then we have Shiren in the BMW somewhere in there. There, you can see the back end of him. Shiren in 4th with the Baz coming home in 5th. Koikarp in 6th. Big Dan getting himself a fine 7th with a hard tyres mostly in the race. Mrs. Guesty on the softs in the end there, grabbing 8th and a 14.5, a very good lap, a competitive lap time there. Jokus in the end got 9th. He started on the hard tyres, remember, went for a long run, and he got a couple of positions out of that. Harvey, though, was catching him near the end. Harvey, a couple more laps, he might have got the Jokus. Pat comes home in 11th, and that Mitsubishi did not look fun on hard tyres. And Silver Star in the Scooby in 12th. Who did we lose then? We had 13 runners. Let me ponder. Oh, Snorlax. I don't know when he went, but we lost Snorlax somewhere along the way. So a huge congratulations to Haza. Fantastic stuff. What a great championship. Hopefully, or no, the next stream will be STCC round 4 live, if all goes well. So watch out for that. Click on subscribe if you don't want to miss a single piece of the action. So yeah, this week we have the STCC on Tuesday, and then on Thursday we have the Audi e-trons, and Sunday coming up we have the Rally Cross season. So loads of things to watch from us. We are the ones that do the business. We deliver on our pledge to bring you great racing at all times. And if you want a little filler, a little stocking filler in between, there's always the Car is the Star, driven by our slowest driver in the group. And he tries out a few cars that you may own and haven't tried yourselves. Okay, I think that's everything. I've dotted all the T's and crossed all the I's, so I'm pretty sure that I can get out of here. Thank you very much for watching. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Pat McGroin. Peace and love. Peace and love.